I'm Brian Bender, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Pulse survivor Brandon Wolf returns to Florida's LGBTQ+ front lines. Nearly 10 years after surviving the mass shooting at Orlando's Pulse nightclub, activist Brandon Wolf is returning to Florida to take on what he calls growing anti-LGBTQ+ extremism. Wolf, a gun violence prevention advocate and former National Press Secretary for the Human Rights Campaign, has left Washington, D.C. to rejoin Equality Florida as Senior Director of Communication Strategy. In an interview with the advocate, Wolf said now is the right time to return to his home state ahead of the 10th anniversary of the Pulse massacre, where 49 people, most of them queer and Latino, were killed on June 12, 2016. Wolf survived the attack by hiding in a bathroom. He said the tragedy changed the course of his life and inspired him to fight for future generations of LGBTQ+ people. He said, quote, "If we're going to beat the Donald Trumps of the world, the right-wing zealots of the world, we're going to have to beat them at ground zero," end quote. Wolf also delivered a pointed message to Ron DeSantis, quote, "We're still in Florida. We're still here. We're still queer. It's still our state too. I hope he goes to bed every night knowing that he failed at his attempts to erase LGBTQ Floridians," end quote. Wolf said Equality Florida will continue advocating for queer rights alongside reproductive, immigration, and voting rights efforts, adding that there cannot be a free Florida if some people are not free. Well, I just want to go back to what he said here, because he said, I hope Ron DeSantis goes to bed every night knowing that he failed. I don't think Ron DeSantis is going to bed thinking anything, because I don't think he's got much going on up there. Just saying. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, he's certainly not.
He's not a dumb man.
He's not really thinking about us so much, other than how he can benefit from demonizing us and making money from us and whatever. He's a loathsome person.
Tell us what you're really
deplorable. I've been holding back because of my profession. But I am. But thank you, Brandon, for coming back. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God.
Like you get out, you're relatively safe, you're in a better part of the world, but you come back to fight the fight for your. Like, I admire that so much. Thank you, Brandon, for coming back to fight.
Yes. I mean, it's amazing to think that it's almost 10 years. Yeah. It'll be 10 years in a couple of weeks.
And we still don't have any gun legislation to make life better for
But as he said, quote, "We're still in Florida.
Yep.
We're still here. We're still queer. It's still our state too," end quote. And really, we need that kind of energy and advocacy now more than ever. So thank you, Brandon, for coming back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all this don't say gay stuff, don't say trans stuff. You're forcing us to say it in the supermarket and at the gas station pump. And you think you're quite, oh no. It's now you've unleashed the demons.
You just put a spotlight. Yeah. It's like, we don't want you to exist, but we're going to spotlight you everywhere you go. So it's almost like, these people can't just live their lives incognito. We talked about this at the table, I believe it was either last week or 2 weeks ago, where transgendered people are afraid to even use a restroom. People that are transgender, you're afraid they're going to use the quote unquote wrong bathroom. They're not even trying to use a bathroom in public because they don't want the violent repercussions of what it could mean for them in a state like Florida. So
I have even known people who now dress differently in public just because they are afraid. And that can't be the country that we call home.
No.
Well, right now it is, but we can always, work to make it a better place.
Register to vote and then vote.
Please.
Every time. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.